I don't know about you, dude, but I'm like the type of guy that when somebody tells like to open up, or not open up, but like just to talk about your feelings more, I'm like, nah, dude. Like, if I'm not really that close with them, I won't do it just because like we don't really got much to talk about. I'm not gonna tell you, oh yeah, I'm doing bad, and you just can't fix it. So what will you do? I'm more of like, if somebody tells me to open up, but it's a close friend, I imagine myself like crying and shit. Like if I'm like telling you something that's like super bad and like hurting me, that I'm letting go of something that's very hurtful. But opening up doesn't have to be very dramatic. It doesn't have to be so. You know how you see it in movies when like a girl opens up and then she just like starts crying and telling all her problems and stuff. And like sometimes I imagine it that way. But then when I do open up to my close friend or anybody that's close, really, I just tell them, yeah, I'm doing bad in this or this is bothering me. And usually when I just talk about it, it gets so much easier. It's like I don't really know what's hurting me at the time, but I know that once I'm done talking, it's gonna be easier. And that's true. I trust that. And then I go actually and talk about whatever's bothering me because I'll just take things off my chest. But if you're somebody that doesn't like opening up and just somebody that thinks about opening up as like it's weak and something, I understand you. Like I was like that before, and it's really like it's taken a toll on me. Meaning, I didn't really enjoy talking about it because I felt judged. That the people around me would be like, or the person that I'm telling those things would be like, yeah, like your problems are not as important as somebody else's. Like your problems are not as big or they're not so bad. And I just be like, I know, but like it bothers me. And I would just feel bad talking about them. But problems are problems. Everybody has problems and everybody's allowed to feel problems. If you're somebody that has something similar to that, then think of it this way. If everybody has problems, right? Let's think of it this way. Your mental health is as important as somebody else's mental health, because mental health is mental health. It is something that gets you throughout the day, keeps you on whatever mood you're in. And if your mental health is not in check, if you're not feeling well, then your whole day is going to be bad. Your mood is going to be bad throughout the whole day. So how do you realize that your mental health is important? You may be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that and I approve of that, but I just can't put that into my head. I can't really make myself think that it is important. Well, I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna give you an analogy. Think of your mental health as a house, and think of your problems and disorders as fire. The house catches on fire because of the problems. And just because someone else's house has a bigger flame, that doesn't mean that the flame that creates a fire in your house shouldn't be extinguished. Just because someone else's house has a bigger flame than your house has. Meaning, if your house was on fire and somebody else's house was on fire, twice as much as your house is on fire, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't extinguish, with the fire extinguisher, like shh. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do that. Extinguish your house just because somebody else's house has twice the bigger flame, twice the bigger fire than you have. Same goes for you. If somebody came to you and they were talking about their problems, would you be like, your problems aren't that bad, why are you whining about it? Like, I've gone through worse. No, bro, that's rude, and you're not rude, you're nice and considerate. So why would you do that? You wouldn't do that. You'd be considerate. So if you can be considerate to others, why can't you be considerate to yourself? Your mental health has a lot of anxiety, and it's because of the problems and the disorders that you have. But how do you extinguish your house? We established that it is important to extinguish a house. But how do you do that? It's just talking. It's like watering the house, like when firefighters like with water or whatever they do that. I think it's with water, yeah. When they shoot it with water, shooting water to the house would be equal to talking or writing as well, because no matter how much your house is on fire, you have to extinguish it. It's a problem, and it's okay to have a house on fire that needs to be extinguished. You're as important as everybody else, and if you think you're not, just because someone else has gone through worse, or just because someone else is more traumatized than you are a person with a mental health, with mental fitness, and you have a mental capacity like every person does. Some have more, some have less, but you still have a mental capacity that has a limit. We're not robots, we're not superhuman. You need to take care of yourself, and with taking care of yourself comes taking care of your mental fitness or mental health. I say mental fitness because in order to keep yourself healthy physically and mentally, you have to be fit. And it's just like physical fitness, you would train. But in mental fitness, you would have to what? Talk. You would talk your thoughts. You would open up and you would vent. Either if it's to a journal, to some sort of like your newsletter, or not newsletter, but like where you write to people about it, share it, or if it's to your loved one, to a close one, to a friend, to anybody, it's just to vent and talk, to be a little more clearer, to have your mind a bit more free and cleared from the anxiety and all the rushing thoughts that you have, and generally everything that's causing you anxiety and not giving you the focus that you need, because problems really become problems when you can't work, when you're slowing down with your progress and it's almost backtracking you at some point. That's when they become problems. It's like, oh no, we gotta take action, we gotta change this. This is not good, it's harming you. So when you do find yourself in a situation when you need to talk to somebody, or when you just need that venting, talking about your feelings, someone to understand you, it's best to just reach out and to just talk to someone, or talk to yourself, or journal. But the best thing really would be to talk to God. I don't really talk about God on my channel a lot because I know some people might not be religious and stuff, and I respect it. So I try to minimize it as much. So it's actually enjoyable to watch. But truly is the best thing to talk to God, because He's there for you all the time. You can talk to Him whenever, and you can just ask for not even reassurance, You can just ask for compliment. You can just talk to him. You don't have to pray each time you talk to him. You can just talk to him. Just talk. No need to pray. No need to ask for forgiveness or courage or strength or focus or power. No need for that. You just talk. As you were to a friend. Because God is your friend. Back on the non-religious side of dating. It's good to talk about your mental health. I enjoy it, honestly. I've not done it in a while. But it's because I've had a clearer mind ever since I last opened up. Ever since I last vented. And I'm really grateful that I have such friends who I can vent to and talk without feeling judged. And that's really a blessing, and I'm so grateful. So thank you, Lily, and thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Like, y'all saved me, honestly. So anybody, legit anybody, just go ahead and talk. Open up. It's fine. You're not weak. You're strong. You're stronger than everyone else that thinks that venting is for the weak. Because you're strong enough to realize that you're doing good for yourself and you're building trust. Was it with you that you're building trust, with the journal, or was it with God that you're building trust? Was it with friends and family that you're building trust because you're venting and telling them your problems so that you can have that bond, a stronger bond of trust? That's the key. That's the goal, is to just build trust and help yourself in the process. So then next time, people can come to you and vent to you so you can help them. So, now that you not know this, what will you do? Will it be considerate enough to take yourself in consideration and give yourself a chance to just open up? I sure hope so. Yeah. Take care. Stay positive. Bye bye.